Stairwalkers of the West, follow me, please. Probably the right stairwalk, because I think this is the only one that's being held here today. So if you're in this group, you're probably walking for secret stairs, and we're going to go see the Murphy Ranch, also known as the Nazi camp, also known as a really, really weird place. We're about to take the staircase, the first staircase, down past the water tank that kept the area fed and watered into the depths of this canyon. Which is a section of Sullivan Canyon. Anybody who had Boy Scout relatives in this neighborhood, you know that this road goes up to Camp Josepho, which is a big Boy Scout camp that's been there since the 30s, I think. I camped there in the 60s when I was a Boy Scout here at City Palisades, and the troops that control it, 400 and 223, still control it to this day. Wow. That's why there's no traffic on this road. This road is really just maintained for them, and it's only for them. But way before that, in the late 30s, a family called Murphy bought this piece of property, and in the 40s, one of the Murphys, I believe Virginia might have been named, I forgot his first name, became entranced by a mysterious mysterious German gentleman named Schmidt, who managed to convince her that several things were going on. One, that the rise of the Nazis was going to become a huge political force in Europe. Two, that the Nazis were going to take over Europe. And three, that then they were coming here. And that the best thing to do would be to build a sympathetic compound, self-supporting, self-contained, here in Pacific Palisades, so that they would be ready when Nazism, National Socialism swept over America. They would be here to say, we are here and we are your friends and we're ready. So they hired a series of high-level architects, including at one point Frank Lloyd Wright, to build plans for this compound, which was to include a pumping station, a refinery where they could create their own gasoline out of oil, planting areas where they could raise their own food. There's a natural stream at the bottom that's going to help them. They built a garage, they built a mechanics station, they started building outbuildings, and then at some point, right after Pearl Harbor, the American authorities got wind of this and decided it was not a good thing. So they investigated poor Herr Schmidt. They found out that he was wanted on some tax evasion charge or something like that, or his visas were not correct or whatever. They put him in prison. He died in prison. The Murphys gave up the ranch. It ended up in the hands of one of the Huntingtons, the same guy that developed Huntington Palisades, who at one point ran part of it as an art colony into the 60s. So the Nazis were gone, but the painters and the poets moved in and were housed in the same little cabanas that were going to be, training areas for soldiers and so on. And I'm not sure where, but somewhere in the 60s, the Huntington family gave it up and it became part of the Great Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy. Wow. So we're going to walk down a staircase, down another staircase, down another staircase. We're going to land at the bottom, and you see what's left of the compound, which is some strangely graffitied buildings where they had a pumping station, where they had their gas station, and so on. Depending upon what the temperature is like and how we feel, we might walk up the canyon a little bit where there's an old barn that they used for some of their activities. Otherwise, we'll walk down the canyon a little bit and then begin the great march back. They'll say, I can't remember if it's 511 or it's 512, but it's a lot of stairs out of the canyon back up to the top. Luckily, they're not all in one go, and they're gradual through parts, so it's not quite as devastating as it sounds like. And it'll still be early and it won't be too hot, so I think most of you should survive. We don't leave our dead unburied, but we don't take them out either. So try to stay up with the group and don't die.
So thanks for the hike.
Thanks for coming.
It was amazing.
You made it.
Wasn't it amazing?
You did it.
It's a great one.
Over 1,000, I think 1,100 secret stairs, all in one.
And that's the toughest hike in the book.
So I'm getting light. Okay.
So Lord, it was a blast. You just did the Nazi camp hike. How was it?
It was awesome. 511 steps coming up, straight up. And you really just had to pace yourself. But it was beautiful down there. Graffiti, covered buildings and pathways, and everything was graffiti covered and rust. And I tell you, this is one secret place in the Malibu.
Where are we going next weekend?
Somewhere secret.